Alright guys, let's go ahead and do a message for my Cancers out there, or Cancer cross-watcher. Bear with me a little bit. This is my first video for the day and I'm a little bit, I think it's just moving around so much. I've been from this place to this place to this place, and maybe it's got my allergies kind of messed up. I've been taking Allegra. I've never taken Allegra, but it's not bad. It works. I didn't take any yet though. I probably should do that. Anyway, okay. So, disclaimer. Before I get into this video, please know this is not going to be for everybody. This may even be for someone on the outside of you, someone somehow connected, but they could be going through this. I have 3 clear scenarios. I just sat here, like right before I started this video, and I wrote them down, the ones that were coming to me. So don't be disheartened. We're all going through some sort of shift and transition right now. A lot of relationships are going through transitions and shifts and metamorphosis, and it's just kind of more of a time that people are reevaluating their relationships and connections to people, and a lot of people are enjoying being single. So I just want to say that because sometimes it can be, you know, but literally everybody's going through this. It's just the times that we're in right now. So there's nothing bad about it. It's just an informative message. So here we go. The first scenario that I have for Cancer is if you are talking to anyone new or have an attraction to a new person. I'm not sure this person is necessarily wanting a relationship. So just be mindful of that. I wouldn't put your all into it right away. I mean, just give it some time, let it develop over time. At this moment, I don't think that they want a relationship. I think they're still kind of navigating something else. Doesn't mean it's with another person romantically. It's just, it could be, but they're navigating something else or many other things in their life. And I just really do not feel, unless it's reversed, I don't feel that this person is, at this moment, going to give you equal emotional reciprocity. I just really don't feel that. The second scenario, if you know someone, again, you can reverse this. If you know someone who is with somebody, especially if it's newer, what is new? I don't know. We'll just say new. You can put what you want there. Let not it fool you that they're fronting on how they feel and are still not emotionally over the past, or if you are their past, they're not emotionally over you. Definitely, I can see that somebody here who might be with another person, possibly newer, and they're showing certain things on the outside. They could be telling this person certain things, but actually they're really not over you, or they're not over something in the past, period. It's I mean, to be completely frank, they could even be trying to use this individual to some degree to get over something or someone or you, or maybe even make an impact on the past. If you're a part of it, make an impact on you in a negative way, make you like jealous or something. So there's that. The third scenario is if you are friends with someone. Remember, this could also be someone on the outside of you, someone going through this with another. If you are friends with someone and there have been feelings, etc., meaning I don't know what y'all done, I don't know how far it's gone, they feel, or you feel if it's reversed, that they want to be more than friends. Remember, you could be feeling this, but the other is not on the same page. So you could have someone here who's kind of like feeling somebody and starting to get deeper. Sex could even complicate that a little bit more. So I don't know the level these two friends have gotten to, but one person is, I want to say emotionally completely navigating away from the situation when it comes to, is this really going to go anywhere other than friendship? You know, it could even be like an on again, off again thing where like Sometimes we talk, sometimes we don't. We see each other sometimes we don't. We do things, sometimes we don't. You know what I mean? A lot of us have been there with people in our lives. So I'm not even sure what to title yours. Like, threshold? Because I see somebody straddling a doorway. That's what I see. And, which, that's not to say someone here, whoever's going through this, is a bad person. We all go through that. It kind of reminds me of Taurus's message yesterday I got, where I said somebody in that one I could pick up on, where they really wanted to have a life over here, but meanwhile without closing out things over here, so especially something really big, and it's just they're never going to fully be able to be present over here, not the way that that person or those people that they're involved with deserve, because there's something connecting them to their past that they're running from, and they're not, you know what I mean? And I use myself as an example in that video, so you may want to check that out, where I said things, I mean, I've experienced it, both done it, and it's happened to me. So I relate, and I kind of feel that here in a way, but it's different. It's a different tone. I'm not sure this person's running as much as it's a little bit of a mixture from Gemini and Taurus's. I don't really know what this person feels, to be completely honest with you. I don't know. Or you, if it's you, I don't know. I wouldn't know what you feel. If I were to just, if this were me, I'll say this. If it were me, because that's really the only thing I can say here, to help me better explain, I would think this person could benefit from being completely single, not romantically involving themselves with anyone, and spending a lot of time alone and single. Because, well, it's nice to be single and spend time by ourselves, but also other people involved with this person, the friend scenario, a new love, the past, they're all going to get hurt. You might be involved in that if this person doesn't really just kind of work through some things, you know what I mean? And they're going to hurt people that they're not really intending to hurt. You know what I'm saying? All because of there's something they're not really wanting to feel. Someone here could also like to numb emotionally in some way. I'm not sure if it's through drinking, or it feels like drinking. I can usually pick up on drinking because I'm a recovering alcoholic, so I can always pick up on it. I'm not sure if that's what it is, or it's like it's some type of there's like an emotional cloaking on this person, or an emotional block that they keep up, they have over themselves, which I relate, been there. I'm not saying this is a bad person or anything, but I do think in this message, somebody's going to get hurt. Like if you're the scenario, vice versa, where you know somebody's with another person, whether the person's new or not, but I was strongly picking up on that, that person's going to get hurt being with this individual. You know, maybe this is someone who isn't new in their life. Like if you fit the second scenario and someone's been with someone a while, they may continue to stay with that person. Meanwhile, their heart is like actually having feelings for someone else, so they may be more prone to cheat, or be a little deceptive, or emotionally cheat, more emotionally cheat instead of physically cheat. But it's all still, at the end of the day, this person's not completely present because they're not happy in their situation, even if it's new, if it's something ongoing. So you, if like, let's say you're on the outside of that, you may not be the one who directly gets hurt by it, but the person they're with, or the new person they're with or talking to or whatever, they're going to get hurt eventually, because, you know, you've got people here who are thinking someone's probably present with them and invested, but there's a part of them that is, but what part of that of them is? I'm trying to give an example. You ever went somewhere you really didn't want to go, but you went, and maybe you know, there were some people you'd want to see there, or there were aspects of wherever you were going or whatever that you weren't so you were looking forward to. But for the most part, you could have done without it. You'd rather not have been there or gone or whatever. You could have left it out. Though there are things or people or a person that it's like, well, they'll be there, or this is a part of the situation, so it's not so bad. That's kind of what this feels like here. It's almost like a emotional settling. I almost feel like this is someone who runs from emotions. But what's weird is in this one, I don't feel like it comes from a place of trauma. I mean, that's not to say it doesn't, but I don't feel like it. Like in Geminis, I definitely felt a person who came from so much trauma. In Tauruses, I felt a person who came from a lot of trauma and maybe even has a lot of things to like take accountability for, but isn't. This person is really difficult for me to read. Like, I can't pinpoint them, which is, it's odd. And this is not the first time this has happened for me with the Cancer message. In fact, one of the messages I did for you guys was titled like Tin Man. Do you guys remember that? And I picked up on somebody who, you know, in the Tin Man in the movie The Wizard of Oz, he wanted a heart because he was like hollow. He had no, you know, I'm not saying this is someone who's hollow, but I'm just wondering why they do anything they do. Like, oh, okay. I think I'm getting it. Which is really interesting because I actually feel like this is someone who could be rather deep, but they run from emotions. They do, but with themselves. That's what they're really running from. They're running from loving themselves, self-love. They're running from emotionally loving themselves, period. They're running from them. And so they find their identity through other people, and ultimately this is why they're always kind of looking and searching, and why they don't want it, because, you know, what they're looking for is where they're looking from. A quote from Muji. What they're looking for is where they're looking from. Muji Baba, I quote him a lot, but he also says, you will look for the map to find you are already here. Is this someone who's never been single? Is this someone who's always in relationships? Or is this someone who is always single? And I mean always as in not a couple of years, but like all the time. Not where they don't get involved, but where they will get involved with people, but never actually commit. Now it's different. People have different beliefs. That doesn't mean that this is a person who's running from themselves. If someone's single and just wants to be single and talk to people, you know, maybe their belief is, what is the relationship here on this planet? Why do I have to do what everyone's doing? You can have people like that. Then you can have people where they're doing it because, for a different reason. You know what I mean? It's not really a belief. It is an actual fear of commitment when they really want commitment. And then you have people who don't want commitments at all, and that's their prerogative. They don't have to want a commitment. We don't all have to be in relationships and get married and do things like that. We don't all have to have sex. We don't all have to fall in love with somebody. And if we do, it doesn't have to look like what everyone else's love looks like. We can love very differently. We're all individual people here, and we all have our own journey. I just, yeah. This is a deep individual. I could see why anyone would have feelings for them. I can definitely see that. They are deep, and I think that they don't have a problem connecting to people, clearly. People connect to them easily, but they have a harder time connecting with themselves. Totally relate. I mean, I get it. That's fair. I get that. But it would just be wiser for this person to just tell people, I guess, up front, you know, look, I'm not looking for blah, 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 blah. Just so people don't get their heart broken, you know, but you live, you learn. You don't just come out knowing that. You figure it out over time. Because a lot of times, I almost feel like this person's scared to hurt people. Like, they don't really want to hurt people. I'm not saying they haven't. But I don't feel like whoever this is wants to necessarily. Then again, I could be surprised. You never know. You never know. Maybe they're just really good at pretending. I don't really know. I don't know. It's just, I would be curious to know who this person was without other people closely connected to them. Like, what I want to know is if I were to meet this person and I were to say, hi, how are you? What's your name? Or blah, blah, blah. A lot of times people introduce themselves by their profession, by what they do, not who they are, you know? Not what they stand for or stand against, not what they advocate for or advocate against. It's more so like what I do. This is my career. Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm a blah, 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 you know? And I think we all do that. We all do that. And I think we're in a time right now where we're like really needing to move out of that, where we're not identifying with this is my label, this is my title, this is this, not necessarily what I just do for work, but like my title as a daughter, my title as a son, my title as a mom, my title as a father, my title as a wife, my title as a divorcee, my title as a, it's like, what else are we? What are we without those things? Because who were we before we came to this existence, before we had any of these identities and titles and labels? What were we? Who are we? That's who I want to know. And I'm sure you want to know the same thing because you're a deep person. Whoever you are that clicked on this video, you don't have to be a Cancer. And the core. This is like super random, but the other day I went to the grocery store and I was just perusing through the aisles and I saw this, well, I saw different vegetables and fruits and stuff that I've never really seen. It's been a year of that for me for some reason. Like this year I tried soursop, one of the best fruits I've ever tried in my life. Anyway, let me not get off topic. And I saw a bunch of different squashes, and I've had squash before, but I've never had this squash, and it was called a spaghetti squash or something like that. And beside it was a butternut squash, which I've also never had. That's going to be the next one I try. And I got it, and I took it to my parents, and I was like, hey, how do I cook this? And my mom, she knew. Apparently she's made it before a few times, she said. So I prepared it the way she wanted me to, and as I was cutting into it, I'm like, damn, there's a lot of seeds. It's basically like a fucking pumpkin, really. It reminded me of a pumpkin. And mom was like, just gut it and pull all the seeds out. But, you know, I was like, what a fucking waste. Half this shit I'm just wasting, pulling out the guts and the seeds. So I looked it up because I'm like, man, I want to eat this shit, just like pumpkin seeds. I love pumpkin seeds. They're anti-parasitic. They're so good for you. Anyway, and I found out you can actually eat squash seeds. Now, don't hold me on this. Don't go eat anything and then have a reaction. Like, obviously, go off of what you know you can have or whatever. But for me, I Googled it, which, how do we know what even Google? You know, I don't even know. I Google way too much shit. I need to quit doing that and just trust my instinct. But then again, I'll end up in the hospital. So anyway, I Googled it. And it says that you could eat them, so I roasted them, but I forgot them in there, so I didn't end up getting to eat them, so apparently I wasn't meant to. Burnt the bitches. But apparently you can eat those. Anyway, I say all that to say, I want to know the meat and the bones of a person. I want to know everything. I don't just want, like, what most people will care about, you know what I mean? The spaghetti squash itself. I want the fucking seeds. I want the seeds. I want the guts, the innards. I want to know who you are. I don't want to know what you've acquired as you've aged in this life and all the years you went to school. I mean, eventually we can get to that if we must, but like, and I don't want you to ask me about that. What I do, does that matter? So like if I answer wrong or I say something that you don't deem as, which is fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with us getting to know what people do because we work hard for our titles and things like that. And some of them we're really proud of. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I really want to know who you are before those things. Like, that's what I want to know. Like, what was your favorite, not toy, but what was your favorite thing to do on the playground when you were a kid? Because that'll actually tell you a lot about a person, you know? Did you prefer the swings, the slide, the merry-go-round? Did you not even really get on any of the stuff because there were too many kids on it? Did you just kind of venture off into the woods and play with sticks? Like, I really want to know. That'll tell. Monkey bars, that was my favorite. It literally tells me a lot about myself. It tells me a lot about my life. Literally the fact that I played with monkey bars more than anything. I like the swings too, but it made me nauseous. I liked the monkey bars. And I'm like, damn, that's my life, right? I just always been barely hanging on, and then just from one to the next, one to the next, so eventually I'm gonna have to drop anyway, eventually we're out of here. And that's my life. It's been monkey bars. That's what I want to know. I want to know, like, I want to watch a music video with you and see you dissect it. What does this emotionally make you feel? What does it make you feel like? How do you interpret this video? How do you interpret a specific word? Like, what does the word sarcophagus make you feel when you say it? What do you think about it? You think it would be a good pet name? Like, I want to know shit like that. You know what I mean? This is what I want to know about this person. Not their job title, which would be awesome. Fine. I don't, and are you a mom? Are you a dad? Are you divorced? Are you a son or a daughter? Obviously. Do you have siblings? How were you raised? Yes, those are very important things. But tell me about things that you really don't think about anymore, things that you don't talk about anymore. Tell me how you entertained yourself as a child. Like, what did you do? Did you talk to yourself? Do you talk to yourself still? What do you think about war? What do you think about birth? Children? What do you think about, like, I want to know those things. What do you think about things people don't want to talk about? But first, let's get into your seeds and your guts, and I want to know. That's what I want to consume of you. Before anything else, I want to know. I mean, by the way, that is such an amazing, exquisite dish. Like, I love spaghetti squash. Like, I will probably only eat spaghetti squash now instead of spaghetti. It's so much more fulfilling and it's not heavy, but I want to eat all of it. You know what I mean? I sound like a crazy, but that's what happened. So yeah, I hope I'm making sense here. I hope I said it the way that I'm trying to translate the message here. Like, I don't know, I really don't even know what to title this video. Like, the guts? Should I title it the guts? The innards? The seeds? I want the seeds. I even eat the seeds of a, wow, I can't even speak. I eat the seeds of a papaya. Now, you can't eat a whole lot of seeds of papaya because it can be bad and they taste like awful. It tastes like chemicals, or like really, 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 really fresh black pepper, which I like. Cracked black pepper. It's what it tastes like. You can even use it on your food like that. Anyway, be careful with papaya seeds. But they're also anti-parasitic. They're really, really, really good for you. But listen, do your own research. However, when I cut open a papaya and I saw these seeds, I was like, what a fucking waste. What a waste. You can't even eat the bitches. Like, you can't eat all that, so you definitely need to put it in the oven. You want to save that shit. It's medicinal. You know what I mean? I want to know that. I don't want to just throw it away. Like, a lot of times we'll get a papaya smoothie or something or whatever, but it's like, well, what about all the rest of it? Do we just toss it out and just throw it away? Like, why do we not keep our fucking placenta? Now people are keeping their placenta, all the shit. Why don't we keep our teeth when they pull them? Why do they take our teeth? Why do they take our wisdom teeth? Why don't we keep our fucking teeth? I mean, this is just me going off on a tangent, but for real though, why do we not keep our placenta? Kudos to the people keeping their placenta and eating it. I mean, animals do it. Why don't we do it? And then the umbilical cord. If I would have known now if I would have known then what I know now, honey, that's where all the fucking shit is. Why did I not do it? Why don't they promote that? That's what I want to know. I want to know the placenta of a person. I want to know that. And that's what I want to know about this person here. I want the guts. Because right now, people are falling all over this person. Maybe even you or vice versa. But it's like, I want in. I mean, you could taste something and be like, oh, it tastes really good, but I want to know the ingredients. The ingredients are actually really important. You can taste something all day and it tastes good and then end up sending you to the hospital because Maybe you're allergic to something in it. You know what I mean? I want to know what I need to know. I want to know myself that way. I want to know myself intimately and deeply like that. Then why wouldn't I want to know someone I'm romantically interested in like that? And I'm sure that you do, but are you getting that from them, right? Are you really getting that from them? Do they even know the deepest parts of them? And I'm not sure any of us really ever do, to be fair to this person, or vice versa, to be fair to you. I'm not sure any of us really ever do know to a full extent who we at the deepest level are, because I've talked about this before. How much water are we composed of, whatever? A lot. And how much of water on this planet we haven't discovered yet? See what I'm saying? So I'm not sure we ever get to the bottom of that tunnel. But what's important here is that we at least are willing to look. We're at least willing to dive in it and explore and hope that we don't drown, and we can hold our breath long enough to find something each time we go down there. And we don't just say, oh, it's too scary, I don't want to go in there. And instead I'll dive into other people, but never quite dive into myself. No. Why? I went way over, but this was intriguing entirely. I could keep going on this forever. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.